I wake before dawn inside my half-finished cabin, the cold air biting at my face. The fire has died down to embers overnight. I rise from my cot and add fresh logs to bring the flames back to life. I step outside into the frozen wilderness. Snow covers everything in sight. The forest stands silent and still around my small clearing. My breath hangs in the air like smoke. I have been building this cabin alone for 3 weeks now. Every log cut by hand, every joint carved with patience. This is my refuge from the world, my place of solitude and purpose. I gather my tools from the shed, a hand axe, a saw, rope, and my worn leather gloves. Today, I need more timber from the forest to complete the eastern wall. I walk into the trees, following the trail I've carved through the snow. The pines tower above me, their branches heavy with white powder. The silence here is sacred. I find a suitable fallen tree and begin to work. The axe bites into the frozen wood with each swing. Steam rises from my body despite the freezing temperature. I cut the trunk into sections and load them onto my wooden sled. The work is slow but satisfying. Every piece of wood brings my cabin closer to completion. I'm about to return home when I hear something. A faint sound almost lost in the winter silence. A whimper, weak and desperate, coming from deeper in the forest. I stop and listen. The sound comes again. An animal in distress. I leave my sled behind and move toward the source of the cry. I push through thick snow between the trees, following the intermittent sounds. The whimpering grows louder as I approach a small clearing surrounded by dense brush. I stop at the edge of the clearing. There, lying in the snow against a fallen log, is a red fox. The animal is alive, but something is terribly wrong. I move closer and see the injury. A jagged piece of broken wood, likely from a shattered branch, is embedded deeply in the fox's front paw. Blood. I crouch down slowly, keeping my distance. The fox watches my every move with terrified eyes. She is trapped by her own injury, unable to escape the predator she believes I am. I see now that the wound is serious. The wood has pierced straight through the paw. Without help, this fox will die here in the cold. She cannot hunt, cannot walk, cannot survive. I remove my gloves slowly, showing my empty hands to the frightened animal. The fox flinches at every movement, her ears flat against her head, her body pressed against the fallen log. I speak softly, my voice barely above a whisper. The words do not matter, only the tone. Calm, gentle, reassuring. The fox's trembling slows slightly, though her eyes remain fixed on me. I take one small step forward. The fox bares her teeth and lets out a weak growl, warning me to stay back. I stop immediately and lower myself even further to the ground. The sky above the clearing has darkened. I look up and see heavy gray clouds rolling in from the north. A storm is approaching. The temperature is already dropping. I look back at the fox. She is shivering violently now, her small body losing heat rapidly. The blood around her paw has begun to freeze into dark red crystals on the snow. I cannot wait for her to trust me. The storm will kill us both if I stay here too long. I need to act, even if she fights me. I remove my scarf slowly and hold it ready in my hands. The fox watches with wide amber eyes, not understanding my intention. I move closer, ignoring her warning growls. The fox snaps at the air near my hand, but she is too weak to truly fight. Her energy is fading with her blood. I reach forward carefully and manage to wrap the scarf around the fox's muzzle, preventing her from biting. She thrashes weakly but cannot escape my grip. I lift the injured fox gently into my arms. She weighs almost nothing, her body frail beneath the soft fur. I can feel her heart racing against my chest. I look toward the forest. The path back to my cabin seems impossibly far. Snow has begun to fall, thick white flakes swirling through the darkening sky. I begin walking, the fox cradled against my chest. Each step through the deep snow requires effort. The storm is closing in around us. I must reach the cabin before the blizzard traps us in the forest. The fox's life depends on it. My life depends on it. We are in this together now. The wind grows stronger, pushing against me with every step. I shield the fox with my body, keeping her protected from the biting gusts. I can barely see the trail ahead through the falling snow. The world has become a swirling white void. I navigate by instinct and memory alone. My legs burn with exhaustion. The snow is deeper here, reaching above my knees. I push forward, refusing to stop, refusing to let this creature die. Finally, I see the outline of my cabin through the storm. The dark shape emerges from the white chaos like a beacon of hope. I reach the door and push it open with my shoulder. Warmth from the fire I built this morning rushes over us. We have made it. I lay the fox gently on a blanket near the fireplace. She is unconscious now, her breathing shallow, her body limp. I add more logs to the fire, building the flames higher. The cabin fills with warmth and flickering orange light. I gather my tools, a sharp knife, clean cloth, a bowl of water heated by the fire, and a bottle of whiskey for disinfection. I kneel beside the fox and examine the wound closely. The wooden splinter has gone completely through her paw. I must remove it carefully or risk greater damage. I steady my hands and grip the splinter firmly. With one smooth motion, I pull it free from the fox's paw. She whimpers but does not wake. Blood flows from the wound. I press clean cloth against the paw, applying pressure to slow the bleeding. The fox's body twitches weakly. I clean the wound with whiskey, washing away dirt and debris. The alcohol will help prevent infection in this wilderness where no veterinarian exists. I tear strips from a clean shirt and wrap them carefully around the fox's injured paw, creating a tight bandage to protect the wound and stop the bleeding. The fox lies still by the fire, bandaged and breathing. Outside, the blizzard rages against the cabin walls. Inside, we are safe. For now. I sit back against the wall and watch the fox sleep. Hours pass. The fire crackles. The storm howls. I drift in and out of exhausted sleep. I wake suddenly in the middle of the night. Something is wrong. The fox is making strange sounds, weak, pained whimpers that cut through the darkness. I move to her side and touch her body. She is burning with fever. The wound has become infected despite my efforts. Her body is fighting a battle it may not win. I check the bandage. The cloth is soaked with fluid, yellow and foul-smelling. The infection is spreading rapidly through her small body. The fox's breathing becomes labored. Short, desperate gasps. Her body trembles uncontrollably. She is slipping away before my eyes. I have no medicine, no antibiotics, no way to fight the infection raging inside her. In this isolated wilderness, I have only my hands and my will. I remember something my grandfather taught me long ago. A poultice made from pine resin and heated cloth. A remedy from the old times before modern medicine. I move quickly through the cabin, gathering what I need. Pine resin collected from the trees outside, stored in a jar on my shelf. Clean cloth, the heated water by the fire. I mix the pine resin with warm water, creating a thick paste. The smell is sharp and clean, filling the cabin with the scent of the forest. I remove the soiled bandage from the fox's paw. The wound is angry and swollen, red streaks spreading up her leg. The infection is severe. I apply the pine resin poultice directly to the wound, covering it completely. The natural antiseptic properties of the resin are her only hope now. I wrap fresh cloth around the treated paw and hold the fox close to my chest. Her heart beats weakly against my palm. Her fever rages on. I stay awake through the night, holding her, warming her, willing her to survive. The fire burns low. The storm continues outside. Time becomes meaningless. Just before dawn, something changes. The fox's trembling begins to slow. Her breathing becomes less desperate. The fever is breaking. I check the wound again. The red streaks have stopped spreading. The swelling has decreased slightly. The poultice is working. She is fighting back. The fox opens her amber eyes for the first time since the forest. She looks up at me, weak but alive. In her gaze, I see something new. Recognition. Trust. Days pass inside the cabin. The blizzard ends, leaving behind a world buried in white silence. The fox grows stronger with each sunrise. I change her bandage daily, applying fresh poultice to the healing wound. The infection is gone. New skin grows where the splinter once pierced. The fox begins to eat, small pieces of dried meat from my supplies. She takes them gently from my hand, her amber eyes watching me without fear. She takes her first steps across the cabin floor, unsteady at first, favoring her injured paw. But each day, her movements become stronger, more confident. I open the cabin door to clear the snow from the entrance. The fox limps to the doorway and looks outside. The frozen forest calls to her. She does not run. Instead, she turns and limps back to the blanket by the fire. She is not ready yet, or perhaps she chooses to stay. I remove the bandage for the final time. The wound has healed into a small scar hidden beneath her fur. She is whole again. The fox walks on all four paws without pain. She runs in circles through the snow, testing her strength. Her movements are fluid and free. I know the time has come. She belongs to the wild, not to a cabin. I walk to the edge of the forest and wait for her to follow. She stands beside me at the tree line, looking into the wilderness that is her home. The forest stretches endless and white before us. I kneel down and stroke her soft fur one last time. She leans into my touch, her amber eyes meeting mine. No words are needed between us. I stand and take a step back. The fox looks at me, then at the forest. She takes one step toward the trees, then pauses and looks back. She returns to me and presses her head against my leg. A gesture of gratitude, a farewell, a bond that will never be forgotten. The fox turns and walks into the forest. Her orange fur glows against the white snow. She pauses once at the edge of the trees and looks back. I raise my hand in a silent goodbye. The fox holds my gaze for a long moment, then disappears into the wilderness. She is free. I stand alone at the edge of the forest, watching where she vanished. The silence is complete, but I do not feel lonely. I feel grateful. I return to my cabin with a full heart. The fire crackles warmly. The walls are nearly complete. Life continues in this frozen paradise. Weeks later, I wake to a sound outside my door. I open it to find tracks in the fresh snow. Fox tracks. She has returned to visit. I see her at the edge of the clearing, watching me. Her amber eyes shine in the morning light. She is healthy and strong and wild and free. She does not approach. She does not need to. The bond between us exists beyond touch, beyond words, beyond the boundaries of our different worlds. I smile and raise my hand to her. She turns and disappears into the forest, but I know she will return. She always does. My cabin stands complete in the frozen wilderness. Smoke rises from the chimney, and somewhere in the forest, a red fox runs free, carrying a piece of my heart with her forever.